I don't have any regret starting it. My only regret is I didn't start it earlier.
You did mention earlier on how that you're getting ready to preach tomorrow. You're also a first lady, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a daughter. I also know Reverend Charles plays an active role in the Royal House missions setup. How do you
Mhm.
juggle all these as well as have the time to do the activities of Bear?
Like I said earlier, when you said I'm lucky to, Reverend Charles is lucky to have me, I said it's actually the other way around. I think I couldn't have done all these without having a very supportive and a supportive husband. And I salute my husband who's in the States at the moment, and we I just came off the phone after speaking for about an hour. He supports me when I have to go out. There are days when I have to be out the whole day, and he would gladly take care of the children. And we with family, I dedicate time. So I have split my time. I have when I'm doing bear, when I'm doing church, when I'm doing being a daughter to my parents. When I take trips to Ghana, I try to spend as much time with my parents as I can. And with in terms of family, I have a big family. I have five children, and they all come with different demands. But we do fun time. So we arrange family time where I have to put everything on hold because my first priority, obviously, I can't go out safe even though when I lose my family. So my first priority is to my children who are my inspiration, to be honest. They have made me want to do this. And so I make time for them. At the moment I'm homeschool the kids, so I have a lot of contact with them as well. But it's challenging me how many hours in the day I have. I think I have 24 hours just like everybody else, but it's mainly time management and the support of a good team and the support of an amazing husband, like I said.
Let me put Bear aside and come to being a first lady for a moment. Now, as a first lady, again, to Reverend Charles, and like with all the roles he plays, how do you play it? How do you handle the challenges? How do you handle the pressure that comes with it?
Well, being married to Reverend Charles is I've learned, I've grown. I probably didn't understand a lot more when we first got married. I've had Reverend Charles as a teacher, and he would always. He's one thing I love about him in our marriage is he's very open. There's no gray area with him, and anyone who knows Reverend knows that. And he would sometimes when I want to fight something, he would tell me, he would explain to me why we need to do this. I've come to understand that I'm married to a man who most likely will be away quite a lot. He's away quite a lot, and so when he's at home, we try to have the best of times that we can, enjoy our marriage as we can. We have um leave the communication lines very open. So, like I said to you earlier, I've been on the phone with him for over an hour, but then we WhatsApp each other, trying to let him go. I realized that this is the call of the Lord on his life, and if I'm a wife to him, I have to be a helper for him to be the best that he can be. And so I freely let him go. Not easy because I said with five children, and I have three who are boys. My first three children are boys, and they need a father there. He is a father to them, and sometimes finding that I have to play the role of both the father and the mother when he is away is quite challenging. But by the grace of God gives me the strength to go through, and yeah. So him being away a lot, and when he's at home, the role that he still has a lot to do when he's at home. So he also is a workaholic, which makes it challenging. But sometimes I have to pull him away from his computer and his work and tell him, listen, you have to give us some time, but we have to spend some time with us. But at the same time, juggling all that, letting him be the man of God he is, but also trying to pull him to be the father that he has to be to the children, and a husband to me, very importantly.
Fantastic. Now, I do know that a lot of people, you have Reverend Charles, you said it, but a lot of people have these other people. Some say mentors, some say spiritual fathers, some say, people they look up to. So, in times you just don't want to talk to your husband, you just want to talk to somebody different, somebody you look up to. Who do you look up to?
Well, I've been blessed in the sense to have in my spiritual mother, Mama Rytta, that I can go to whenever I feel stuck with church stuff. But in terms, I speak to my mother a lot. I speak to my biological mother a lot, and I have, like I said to you, I have a team that I work with, looking up to saying to look up to someone. It's actually difficult for me to say I look up to anybody in any other actual sense, because I I personally self motivate a lot based on the things that I've been through. So I self motivate myself a bit like, well, one of my favorite personalities in the Bible is David. And when David had gone to war, come back, had met that his house had been scattered. He was on a mission, but when he came back, he realized that his house had been scattered and everything. And my favorite scripture, it says, and David encouraged himself. I have a people that I can go to. Personally, I don't talk a lot, and my husband, I don't voice out a lot of my, probably should do more, but I self motivate a lot. Like I said, um, as a first lady, as a pastor's wife, definitely my go-to person would be Mama Rytta Crunchy and Crown.
See Bear in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
In the next 10, 5, 15 years, Bear, I'm praying that Bear will be global, so we can have foundations in the different continents. Like I explained to you what the foundations are, push the agenda of the foundations of bringing doing wellness clinics, pushing the agenda of sexual abuse and relationship um, forward, even almost like raising an army of survivors. I think if we're able to go down, one thing that society does is when anybody starts acting up, when somebody doesn't fit how we think a person should behave, we are quick to ostracize them, because a woman should not talk loudly, a woman should probably not laugh loudly, you shouldn't we put so much restrictions on who a person should be. And in this social media world, everybody has to be perfect. I mean, when you said to me that it was going to be a video call, I had to go and put my face on, I had to go and fix my hair up. I couldn't just come anyhow, because then I wouldn't be accepted as I should be. But then I'm trying to put in the agenda that people should be who they are. There's something I say, be you so beautifully that everybody wants to be you. And in the next 5, 10 years, I'm hoping that we'll have foundations all over the world where women can speak up, speak out, and voice out what has happened to them. I haven't moved to what happens to the rapist and everything. I'm really more focused on the women and building them up more so. So wherever I go on the on the different continents, I want to hear Bear spread, Bear become a household name for everybody to know that if you have been through this and nobody else will listen to you, nobody will believe what you're going through, nobody will pick you up. Rytta Benneh will pick you up. Rytta Benneh will push you in the right direction, and somebody will listen to your story. Somebody will pay attention. You're not alone in this. You're not trash, you're not garbage, you're not second choice, you're the best choice of anything. And this is what I want to push for in the next 5, 10 years. I want to push this agenda. I can't even say it louder. I want this agenda that for anyone who's been abused, the time of going under your sheets and crying and second guessing yourself and thinking that you're no good is over. If I can be who I am today, you definitely can be that as well.
You seem to focus more on the women when it comes to abuse. Some men also get abused. Why not involve some men?
I tried going into that avenue. What I've realized is most men do not feel comfortable speaking to a woman about these things. So, in as much as I'm very open to men approaching me, I haven't actually come across very many men who want to openly speak about that. I think my purpose is really for the woman, and I don't want to be greedy. I'm sure there's somebody that God has called out there to reach out to the men. And if in 5, 10 years, um, I feel led to approach that, I'm sure God will give me the direction to do that. But at the moment, I find that the men are a bit more closed when it comes to the topic of abuse, and they would probably rather want to speak to another man about it as opposed to speaking to a woman about it.
Can you share a couple of experiences with us regarding what you've been doing so far, specifically about maybe a couple of young ladies, what their case was, not to go into specifics, but what you did for them and what changes you saw after dealing with them?
I met a young lady about a year ago who had been abused several times by her father. And when I met, she was beautiful, not was, she is a beautiful young woman, absolutely amazing, so much giftings, but she just did not want to live on anymore. She just wanted to basically exist. So we started talking, and this comes under my growing into glowing coaching program. So we started talking, we started reaching deep. My tagline is building from within. So we started looking at what is inside her, within her, taking the scales of if the abuse if the abuse isn't there, who would she be? How would she be living life now? I realized that she was actually an amazing chef, a caterer, call it. And so I started in her with that, pushing her more. Well, a year on, she came to my event, one of my events last month, and she walked in and I barely recognized her. She's looking beautiful, she's doing business now, she's in uni now, she's doing business, she has her own juice out, she's catering events out fully there. She has her ups and downs, but she's doing well and she's happy. I mean, you're not going to have, nobody's going to be happy all the days of their lives, but in as much as I can say happy and content, she is that. Yeah.
That is very wonderful, and God richly bless you for bringing all these young ladies together. Now, with this agenda that you are pushing, obviously it involves a lot of money, a lot of commitment. You did mention your team, but you also need resources like money. How do you deal with sponsorship?
That's I'm actually surprised that they mentioned that as a challenge. That's also a major challenge at the moment because it's something that I'm now bringing up, and people don't just pass with their money just like that. For resources is very much people around me who would say, okay, I'll do this for you, I'll support you in that way. But looking at funding is something that I'm looking to push more. So people would probably hear that I'm doing an event and want to support in different ways. And my event coming up on the 30th about the sexual abuse, when I put it on social media, I push the agenda that I want to, for those survivors who actually attend, I want to give them an evening where we finish talking. I want to make them feel good. So one of my lovely darling team members is a hairdresser. So she has volunteered to do their hair, so she's taking time out to do their hair. Somebody said, okay, I'll do makeup. Somebody said, I've had people who've approached me, said, we want to do cupcakes for you. I've approached companies to see if they'll give us little giveaways, something little to put a smile on their face. Women, it could be creams, it could be something little. It's not easy to put the events is very costly, but these little things, my aim for these events is that when the women come, they could be down, but I have to let them leave feeling with a smile on their face. So Nanaya, if you have anything going, I don't mind throwing it down. You can throw it down my way.
All right, all right.
But yeah, so these are things that we do. So give them gift bags and little things just to put a smile on their face so that when they leave, they feel good.
Like this actually brings me to one of my favorite scriptures where Paul admonishes Christians that don't just say it is well, maybe well with your fellow Christian who is going through challenges, but after it's said and done, do something to improve the quality of their lives. And I think you're doing just that, and God richly bless you. Mama, but would you say you are successful?
Yes, I will say I'm successful. Success is not only I did an interview recently. I said success is not only in material things, but success is in the impacts that you do. And sometimes in the morning when I wake up and I look at the messages that come, people that have been impacted with the events and the programs I'm doing so far, and they are deciding to push forward more, try to do better with their lives. People who look at you and think that, well, you are a role model and I want to be like you. I believe that I have become successful in those terms. When I look at my children, I have so much joy with what God has used me to do with them, and my marriage as well. 16 years. My husband has. Husband has endured me and enjoyed, I hope. But that has been successful. I have people who look up to me, and so far with what I've done, be successful. Every event I have done has been successful, and I'm raising, not probably not in the thousands for now, but women who are believing in themselves one more time, and that for me is success.
Finally, my final question: 10, 15, 100 years when Mama Ba is no more, what are you expecting the history books to say about you?
Expecting the history books to say that Rytta Benneh was a woman who didn't have it all, but she gave it her all. So I didn't have tax, I didn't have all the resources most likely, but one thing I did was gave my all, gave the best of me. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mama Abba, CEO of
Thank you.
Bear, First Lady of Royal House Chapel IMC, the Mrs. of Reverend Charles Dexter Atabene.
The most
You know,
important
Reverend
one.
Charles is my favorite pastor of Royal House, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yes, he
I'm
is.
waiting that.
Yes,
person. Then
please tell him for me. He's my favorite
I
pastor.
will do. I will
Thank you
do.
so much.
Oh,
It's been a
thank
pleasure
you.
talking to you. I wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best. Now, if
Thank
somebody wants to get in touch with you, what should they do?
So you can contact me on Instagram is I am Rytta Benneh. I am Rytta Benneh. And then on Facebook you can also contact me, Rytta Benneh. And you can email me. My email address is hello at Rytta. My Rytta is Rytta. Hello at Rytta Benneh home. Or I'm sure they can come through you,
Okay,
and you'll point them straight to me. Yeah.
definitely. Thank you so much, Mama. God bless you, and we wish you all the best.
Much and all the best to you in all your endeavors. God bless.
God bless you too. Thank you. Well,
Bye bye.
folks, this has been Mama Rytta Benneh, the CEO of Bear and also the First Lady of Royal House Chapel IMC Mission in the United Kingdom. Wonderful woman of God, wonderful discussion. This has been Kingdom Affairs. Next week, same time, we will come your way. My name is Nanaya Barimah. This program has been produced by Pastor Anthony Simpson on Zoelight Radio. Have a wonderful week and God bless.